Since it is the sino-auricular node, that is SA node, which initiate the impulse in the heart of the mammal, is called A. cholinergic, B. adrenergic, C. neurogenic, D. myogenic. SA node, that is sinoatrial node, is the specialized kind of muscle bundle present in right atrium or auricle. These initiate the impulse which passes from SA node to AV node, then Purkinje fibers, then to the ventricles through bundle of His. As SA node is present in muscle, it is known as myogenic. When acetylcholine is used, it is cholinergic. Adrenaline causes adrenergic fibers, and when neuronic impulse causes neurogenic. So option D is the correct answer. The pericardium and pericardial fluid help in A. protecting the heart from friction, shock and keeps it moist. B. pumping the blood. C. receiving the blood from various parts of the body. D. none of the above. So the pericardium is the protective covering around the heart. Peri means around, and pericardial fluid protects the heart from shock, mechanical injuries and keep it moist and allow free movement of the heart. So option A is the correct answer. The typical lub-dub sound heard in the heartbeat of a healthy person are due to A. closing of the tricuspid and bicuspid valve, B. blood flow through the aorta, C. closing of tricuspid and semilunar valve, D. closing of the semilunar valves. So the first sound, that is lub, is long and booming sound related to the closure of tricuspid valve, and the second is dub, which is short due to closure of semilunar valves. So option C is the correct answer. What is the maximum efficiency of heart? The ratio of work output to chemical energy expenditure is called efficiency of cardiac contraction, or simply efficiency of the heart. The maximum efficient of heart is 20 to 25%. In heart failure it falls to 5 to 10%. So option B is the correct answer. Histology of the heart superficially shows the following structure except A. endocardium, B. cardiac muscle, C. fibrous pericardium, D. tunica intima. So the tunica intima in the heart is represented by endocardium, inner layer. Cardiac muscle responds to tunica media of vessels and pericardium to tunica adventitia or externa. So the superficial shows the following structure except the endocardium. Wang-Bach phenomena is seen in A. complete heart block, B. partial heart block, C. ventricular fibrillation, D. myocardial infarction. In partial heart block, TR interval is gradually increased in successive beat until a ventricular beat fails to occur. This is called Wang-Bach phenomena. Option B. Which of the following is absent in rabbit's heart? A. left auricle, B. left ventricle, C. sinus venosus, D. pacemaker. So the sinus venosus is the first chamber in fishes, that is Pisces, amphibia and reptiles. In fish it receives blood from the Cuvarian duct and hepatic vein, leads into single auricle. In amphibian reptiles it receives blood from 3 vena cava and leads to the right auricle. In birds and mammals there is no sinus venosus. So option C is the correct answer. The pace setter of the heart is A. Purkinje fiber, B. sinoatrial node, C. papillary muscles, D. atrioventricular node. So the AV node, that is atrioventricular node, delays impulse of contraction before transmitting it to the ventricle. thus sets the time interval between contraction of auricles and ventricles. So option D is the correct answer. Which of the following is correct statement about the circulatory system of cockroach? A. It is closed type of circulatory system. B. It is complicated type of circulatory system. C. It takes place without the participation of tissue. D. It is 13 chambered and each segment has one pair of ostia. So the heart of the cockroach is pulsatile and formed of 13 inverted funnel shaped segment chambers. Each chamber except the last one has pair of apertures called ostia, which opens into the pericardial sinus. So option D is the correct answer. Which of the following is a matching pair? Lub, sharp closure of AV valves at the beginning of the ventricular systole. Dub, sudden opening of semilunar valves at the beginning of ventricular diastole. C. Pulsation of the radial artery valves in the blood vessels. D. Initiation of the heartbeat in Purkinje fibers. So the lub is the first low pitch heart sound due to closure of bicuspid and tricuspid valve at the start of the ventricular systole. So option A is the correct answer. Output is determined by A. Heart rate, B. Stroke volume, C. Blood flow, D. Both A and B. So the amount of blood flowing from heart over a given period of time is known as cardiac output. It depends upon the heart rate and stroke volume. So cardiac output is equal to stroke volume into heart rate. So it is approximately 5.5 liters. So option D is the correct answer. Spiral valve is present in A. Right atrium, B. Left ventricle, C. Right ventricle, D. Truncus arteriosus. Spiral valve is a valve present in truncus arteriosus of amphibian heart, guiding flow of different types of blood into 3 aortic arches. So option D is the correct answer. The following vein has least amount of urea: A. Pulmonary vein, B. Hepatic portal vein, C. Hepatic vein, D. Renal vein. So the least concentration of urea is found in renal vein. This is because urea is excreted through urine formed in kidney. So it is excreted by the time it comes to the kidney. So it is renal vein. Option D is the correct answer. Vasa vasorum supplies blood to A. Pericardium, B. Blood vessels, C. Tunica adventitia and external part of the tunica media, D. Vas deferens. So these are blood vessels of blood vessels. Vasa vasorum actually supply tunica adventitia and external part of tunica media. Only the external part of the tunica media. Vasa means vessels. So it is vessels of blood vessels, option B. But more specifically, it supplies the tunica adventitia and external part of tunica media. So option C also is the correct answer. Regarding blood circulation, it may be said that in ferritima, the dorsal vessel is a collecting vessel in the first 2 segment of distributing vessel in others, B. Distributing vessel in first 5 segment and collecting vessel in others, C. Collecting vessel in first 13 segment and distributing vessel in intestinal region, D. Distributing vessel in first 13 segment and collecting vessel in the intestinal region. So in the region of the behind the 13th segment, blood laden with digested nutrients and oxygen is collected in the dorsal vessel, while in the anterior region of the body some of the blood is supplied to dorsal vessel to various parts. So option D is the correct answer. Blocking of the arteries is due to deposition of fat and calcium is called A. Arteriosclerosis, B. Atherosclerosis, C. emphysema. D. Heart syndrome. So the blocking of arteries due to deposition is known as atherosclerosis. It causes narrowing of the lumen due to deposition. Emphysema is the choking of breath. So option B is the correct answer. In normal adult men, the blood pressure is A 100 to 80 mmHg, C 120 80 mmHg, C 100 120 Hg, D 100 and 100 mmHg. So the normal systolic and diastolic pressure are 120 to 80 mm of mercury. This is a systolic blood pressure. It is diastolic. Systolic is when there is contraction, diastolic when there is relaxation. So the normal blood pressure is 120/80. When pressure increases above 120, it is known as hypertension, and when it is below 80, it is known as hypotension. So option B is the correct answer. Of the following is a repolarizing wave: A, P, B, T, C, Q, R, S, D, none of this. So both P and QRS complex are considered as depolarizing wave, and T is the repolarizing wave as it is below the baseline. So option D is the correct answer. During systole, the ventricles: A, blood enters the heart, B, blood leaves the heart, C, blood leaves the ventricle, D, blood enters the lungs. So systole is contraction of the ventricles. So ventricle, during this stage, the opening of CSA and PT, so the blood leaves the ventricle through pulmonary trunk and the aorta, lining of the semilunar valves. So option C is the correct answer. Blood pressure increases and the heart rate decreases in response to A, exercise, B, hemorrhage, C, exposure to high altitude, D, increase intracranial pressure. So your BP increases and heart rate decreases in with increase in intracranial pressure, that is pressure inside the cranium, that is skull, the cerebral blood flow is reduced. This increase in pressure also stimulates the vasomotor center and increases systemic blood pressure. So option D is the correct answer. Normal percentage of glucose in the blood of man is 0.1%. It is found in A, plasma, B, RBC, C, WBC, D, serum. So after the digestion of carbohydrate, proteins, fats, amino acid, glucose, fatty acid, glycerol and vitamins, these are absorbed into the blood plasma from the alimentary canal. RBC are the cells in the blood, WBC are white blood cells, and serum is plasma without proteins. So option A is the correct answer. Erythropoiesis may be stimulated by the deficiency of A, iron, B, oxygen, C, protein, D, none of this. So the most important factor controlling the rate of red cell production, that is erythropoiesis, in the oxygen content of the arterial blood. So it is oxygen. A decrease in oxygen content stimulate erythropoiesis. So oxygen need to be supplied to different organs, which is the responsibility of the RBC, which contains the pigment hemoglobin. So option B is the correct answer. Hemoglobin is A, copper containing pigment, B, iron containing pigment, C, magnesium containing pigment, D, calcium containing pigment. So hemoglobin is a chromoprotein, that is color protein, consisting of two parts. One part, which is 96%, is a specific simple protein known as globin, which is histone proteins, and other 4% is non-specific prosthetic group an iron containing pigment called heme. So option B is the correct answer. Process of blood clot formation within the circulatory system is A. Thrombosis, B. Thrombocyte, C. Thrombin, D. Thrombocytopenia. So thrombus is clot formed inside blood vessel. Thrombus is formed due to slowing of circulation and damage of vascular endothelium. So option A is the correct answer. In an experiment, animal is made anemic, production of which hormone will be stepped up? A. Erythrocytin, B. Erythroblastin, C. Erythropoietin, D. enkephalin. So when air with low oxygen tension, that is anemia, is breathed for some length of time, the cell count increases due to liberation of erythropoietin or hemopoietin or erythrocyte stimulating hormone released by kidney. So option C is the correct answer. If hemoglobin is replaced by hemocyanin, the blood will carry A. less oxygen, B. more oxygen, C. no oxygen, D. same amount of oxygen. So hemoglobin is iron containing pigment heme which easily combines with oxygen and dissociate from it, whereas hemocyanin contains copper which has less affinity for oxygen. So option A is the correct answer. Viscosity of blood is important in maintaining A. acid-base balance, C. diastolic blood pressure, C. systolic blood pressure, D. osmotic pressure. So viscosity of blood determines peripheral resistance of the blood flow through blood vessel and thus helps in maintain blood pressure. So option B is the correct answer. Person living at a high altitude will have A. increased alveolar capacity, B. increased number of erythrocytes, C. hemoglobin curve shifts towards the right, D. all of the above. Since at high altitude partial pressure of oxygen in air is less, so the facultative, the rapid oxygen exchange, heart rate, respiratory rate, vital capacity, total lung capacity, RBC count and hemoglobin, percentage of person living there increases. So option D is the correct answer. Heparin is a protein, B. lipid, C. enzyme, D. mucopolysaccharide. Chemically, heparin is mucopolysulfuric acid. So mucoitin is a polysaccharide composed of glucosamine, glucuronic acid and esterified sulfuric acid. Heparin is normally secreted by mast cell of liver. So option D is the correct answer. Heparin is secreted by A. blood vessel, B. liver cell, C. kidney, D. nerve cell. So heparin is a mucopolysaccharide it is secreted by mast cells of the liver and basophil cells of the blood. It causes vasodilation. So option B is the correct answer.